Hello everyone and welcome to another Brothers War draft with a very nice rare, which sadly is two colors, but I think it's gonna be the peak Harbin. Um, just being a 3/2 flyer for only 2 mana is amazing. Now it's basically a card you don't want to splash, so if blue and white won't be open, then you have to abandon the first pick, but the next best card in the pack is something pretty mediocre, like a Weak Stone's Subjugation or the Chapline here, and the quality goes down a lot after that. The uncommons aren't good, the retro artifact isn't amazing. So yeah, let's take the Harbin and hope blue and white are open. A sad observation is that actually the next best cards are exactly blue and white, but it's more important to see what's open being passed to me, than caring about what you are passing yourself. And we have a tricky one here. We have a tricky one for sure. There are exactly two directions I can go here. Taking the best card, which is the Obliterating Bolt, or take one of the cards that fits my first pick, because I could take the Recruitment Officer, or I could just take the Removal Spell that's white. Now the Prison Sentence isn't just nearly as good as the Bolt here, so I don't think I can justify picking the Removal Spell over the Bolt. I'm actually thinking about taking the Officer rather than the Bolt, but problem is that now let's see if blue and white is open, or let's just say white is open. Yeah, I mean, the problem is that if red is going to be open, I'm going to be missing this much more than I'm missing this. This is a great one drop, but I think I'm going to keep myself open, and I take the best card in here. It's also a splashable card, so it's possible I'm going to be able to play both of these in the same deck. But now I have this selection of cards. I think I'm going to take the Chaplain now. There is like the Power Stone Fracture. I could just take it and ignore the blue white in altogether, but I'm willing to still see if the Harbin route can work. So I'm gonna take the Chaplain now. And oh well, first of all, this is a crazy good pack. Second, I'm happy I took the Bolt. Third, this is still a very difficult pick. So let's say if I just ignored the Bolt, I could still take the Prison Sentence here, which I might take over the Mightstone's animation, because blue and white isn't the best archetype for the animation. It can still work in it, but I would take the Sentence. But now that I have taken the Bolt, I'm gonna take another red card, and the Explosion is really good, but so is the Syndemore. This should be a clear signal about red being open, right? Both of these being here, because this is also a first pickable card. I think I will take the Explosion, but it's also always sad to pass the Syndemore when you are drafting red. But what can you do? And okay, I still see some nice cards here. There's a decent green card in Confrontation. There's a Disfigure. There's a Wing Commando. The red cards are playable, but not so amazing. I might... Well, I don't know about the Harbin anymore. I could still be blue-white and splash these red things. It's certainly possible. Also, that's one reason to take the Explosion over the creature, because the creature is not so splashable. This one is a splashable one. So I think I could take this and just move to red, but it's not amazing. I mean, it's fine. I think I'll take the Wing Commando, just in case. And yeah, you could take the Disfigure, but I'm not taking. I have already 2 removal spells and no black cards. So I'm gonna take the Wing Commando and have the option to, alright, to be blue-white splashing red, but now I'm getting past the Junkyard Genius. So I wish I had took the Disfigure now. Now there's also another Chaplain, there's a Weak Stone's Subjugation, but I mean, this coming this late. This is just amazing. Am I gonna abandon all the white and blue stuff I have picked? I have to take this. This is just the best card in the pack. So let's see if black and red could be my colors after all. Well, it does seem like, based on this pack, surely. There are actually 3 good options for my picks. I think I might even take the Feldon. It's not always great, but I could be pretty aggressive here. Black-red can be... Now the Power Stone Fracture doesn't have that many things to sack yet. Of course, Black-red will have options for that. Also the same applies for the Strong Bull. But I think I'm gonna take the rare here. It's a 2-drop which I don't have yet. And now this is a pack that doesn't seem so great anymore. Not even for the blue-white stuff. I guess I might take the supply drop. It works with the Genius. You can sack it for it. You can get some value from the trick part and then get value by sacrificing this, or you can just use 4 mana to draw a card. I don't think the Pyrrhic Blast is that great. I like this in red-green, where green can have a lot of high power creatures. I'm not a big fan of the Sigil. I don't want to have the 5 mana removal. I have a removal already. I'll take the supply drop. I'm not happy about it, but it's the I think the most reasonable option. Here I'm gonna take the Bitter Reunion just in case the sacrifice archetype is gonna be open if I get some what's the 1-drop Goblin and then Gixian infiltrators and stuff like that. This is not a very strong pack, and blue-white seems to be very cut, so I don't mind moving to black-red here. Now am I gonna take the Gixis Keres here, or the Wings? I think I can take one Keres here. It gives me some fodder for some, if I get some Power Stone Fractures still. Yeah, the Wings is okay. The Gigamole is playable, but no, I'll take the Keres. Now I can take the Forge Chanter. Yep, I'm happy to have it still as a 2-drop. I'm gonna have to cut the blue and white, but given how the pack went, I think I have a pretty decent set of draws of cards in here. And I got the other Forge Chanter, so there was no reason to pick it early. Now definitely red is open, but black is not. So the Genius is the card that made me move to black. I could, in theory, still be red-white or red-blue, given my 3-drop flyers here. And I guess I'll take a 3rd Forge Chanter, and I have enough of 2-drops at least for now. Scrapsmith doesn't seem like it's gonna do anything. I have only 1 artifact, which I might not play. Although with triple Forge Chanter, assuming they will all be in my deck when I submit it, the supply drop is quite nice. It's basically +3/+3 for 3 mana. Okay, Razor Lash, Transmogrant, pretty nice. Probably gonna be my pick here. Swift Spear would, work. I like the Dreams of Steel and Oil. Maybe as a sideboard card could be main decked, but yeah, it's very very easy. This is a good 2-drop. Keeps coming back, and I hope to just be black and red. So this is basically black because you don't really want to play this card if you don't have the black ability available. The Mightstone and Weakstone. Well, it's going to be the pick. There's also a Blast Runner, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be that heavily into the sacrifice stuff. But of course, the Mightstone and Weakstone is always good, even if you don't need the mana that much. It's a nice model spell, kill a thing or draw 2 cards. It's really good set of options there. So let's just take it. And there's an Evolving Wilds, which is good for my sacrifice. I mean, I don't have anything that cares about sacrificing permanents, but there's the red common I just passed, and also black has Gixian Infiltrator. So Evolving Wilds being just a good card by itself, fixing your mana. In addition, in this kind of an archetype, it could do some additional work. But the other option is to take the Transmogrant Altar, which I don't have that much good sacrifice fodder for it, so maybe I don't take it now. I might take it if it comes back to me, but I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds now and hope I get some Gixian Infiltrators and and what's the Goblin Blast Runner? Is Goblin Blast Runner the name of the 1-drop? Red creature, I think it is. Okay, here is Infiltrator. I will take that, hoping to get maybe the Evolving Wilds back. There's a nice blue card. Rock Hunter is not as good as the Infiltrator. Whirling Strike is good, but I think I take the creature here still. This is not good. So how the mana curve looks like. Well, definitely no problem there. Okay, well, There is a strong bull, but I think I'll just take this scrapwork mat here. I don't actually have that many things to sacrifice for this thing. I'll have a playset of these, so not even a reason to take it, you know, to complete the retro artifact set. I'll take the mat. It is the best. Well, I mean, strong bull could be better in some situations, but I think I'd prefer the mat in this case. Alright, there's a reconstructed Thopter, there's a scrapwork rager and the acrobat. I would take the rager over the gigamole here. I have only one 3 mana creature, no 4 mana creatures, but usually you don't really need to find 4 mana creatures that, you know, there's no trouble finding them usually, so I'm not quite sure. I could even take the flyer. I kinda like this. It's also unearthed, it can come back and I can sack it for the genius and I can still find some power stone fractures. So let's take the Thopter now. Make sure I have possibilities to curve out 2 and 3 drop. With 2 drop and 3 drop, and also the flying. Even 2 power flyers in this format seem to often go unblocked. There's not like a very much high quality reach creatures. There are 2 common reach creatures for green and they are playable, but they are not amazing. So not every green deck will have them. And this trades still with bunch of white and blue flyers. Okay, that is a splashable card in some cases, but should I care about it? I do have 1 Evolving Wilds. If I find 1 more way to splash, I could play the Hero of the Dunes. It can basically return every card so far in the deck. And even though the Gigamole is good, I'm not sure it's that amazing. So I'm willing to take the powerful card. I can maybe splash. Put it to the deck for now. There's a Chromatic Star which allows me to splash that thing. Well, there's not much going on. I'll take the star here. I don't have more than the Gigs and Infiltrator as cards that benefit from sacrificing things. Alright, so Power Plant Worker. I don't like it. I don't like the retrieval unit either. I don't like the dig site. Makes my mana worse. I'm gonna take now the uncommon because I'm not gonna play even sideboard in the rest of those cards. Now another supply drop or a Moment of Defiance. Do I prefer the lifelink and the immediate card draw, or the fact I can still sacrifice this later on? I think I actually like the supply drop slightly more for this deck. Well, there's no shortage of supply drops. I don't think I'm gonna play 3 of them. I'll just take the uncommon again. Vault maximization. Okay, so I didn't get the 1 drop red creature, I don't think. I don't really need a rock hunter. I have enough 2 drops. I'll take 20 gems here now. And wings I'm happy to have here. Intervention, well, it's playable, but usually among the first cuts. Now I actually have some number of artifacts now which would allow me to maybe consider playing the Scrapsmith, but we'll see. Alright, well there is a Go for the Throat, which is gonna be the peak here. I'm not mono red, so Cliff Stomper is not, and I'm not even that close to a mono red. I'm gonna play these. Well, I don't actually have that many black cards now that you check the deck. But I'm gonna take the Go for the Throat here regardless. But you can see here, if I didn't play the Infiltrator, there's a Genius. Yeah, there's actually not a lot of black here, but hey, what would be the pick here? I could go mono red and take the Cliff Stomper. Now it's an actual possibility, but I do like the Razor Lash Transmogrant, which requires double black. Enough that I'm gonna just take the high quality removal spell and stay red and black with this deck now. Alright, so there is a static net if I actually wanted to proceed with the white splash, but I still have only 1 Evolving Wilds, and this is only good enough to cast 1 white spell. And sometimes you have to crack this just to draw the card before you draw your white things. So it's not like the Energy Refractor, which you can just leave on the battlefield, and it has already drawn you the card. So I'm actually a bit doubtful about the splash right now, so I could take the Mithras Juggernaut, which is always gonna be fine. I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna actually cut the Hero of the Dunes for now. Oh, there is actually a way to splash it, but yeah, this is now. I mean, it is a good card, but I believe I have to take the. Well, I don't have to, but I will take the Cinnamon. But I could take these to, enable the hero splash a little bit easier. But Cinnamon is just such a high quality card. I don't think I have myself any life gain shenanigans here, so this won't even, you know, uh, the static ability is just a pure plus, preventing the opponent from gaining life. And there is multiple options here. Even something like a Whirling Strike is interesting, but there's a Scrapwork Cohort, there's a Powerstone Fracture, there's an Ashnot's Harvester. I have only 11 creatures, so but I have ways to sack, things to sack for this thing, I believe. I could still take, I can even sack something like a Supply Drop. I do like the Cohort, even though I have not that many ways to get the white mana for the Unearth. I like the Harvester too, but I think I still take the Fracture. There's also an Energy Refractor. Yeah, I'll take this, but you could have chosen many different cards. And yeah, now I'm gonna take the Cinnamon number 2. A third one I saw in the draft, but I took the Excavation Explosion over the first one. There's another Fracture and there's an Emergency World. Both I would be happy to pick, but Cinnamon is the better card of that bunch. So how does the deck look like? This is currently, assuming the sideboard doesn't have anything, probably doesn't. Okay, what? So this is crazy. I mean, I could have been mono red, I believe. I mean, I could still take both of these even if I was mono red. Cinnamon is good, but I guess I'll take the Explosion. It's such a nice, versatile card. Finish off the opponent, kills a lot of creatures, and creates power stones, which this deck, which this deck can benefit from. I am not sure about the Bitter Reunion here anymore. I think I'm not playing that because I have the Infiltrator, which is the only thing that actually cares about it, and I have other ways to, make this guy grow still. Alright, so here the Pike can be quite good. 7 instant sorceries, that is a little bit. The Worming is nice too sometimes, but I think I might take the Pike here. Maybe sideboard it in. I think with 7 total of things that make the grow the X on this card is maybe not enough, but oh no, now there is a Blast Runner. Wow. What am I supposed to do here? I guess I have enough ways to sacrifice stuff, and I might play them with the Reunion now. I'm gonna take the Blast Runner over the fourth Chanter. Sure. I have a Chromatic Star, Reunion. We'll see. Sigil, Locust, Rock Hunter. I don't think the Rock Hunter is really needed here. I have 2 drops here. So I'll take the Sigil. I don't think I guess I could have taken the Locust for some graveyard hate, but oh well. I'm gonna take this. This I might, sideboard in against pacifism effects. It's also 20 gems. So still an altar, but another Juggernaut as well. I do like the Juggernaut quite a bit. I have also some Power Stone generating, so I think I'll take that. Yep. Pretty late Wing Commander here, but I'm not taking it. I can take the Whirling Strike. And here I can take nice Race to the Ground as for the sideboard. And, well, I'm not gonna play the first Intervention either, but that was an okay Black 3. One more card. And that card is supposed to come to me right now. Another Intervention. Alright. So there's actually no 4-mana card in the deck. That's funny. Anything in the sideboard I really wanted to actually play? I don't think so. I won't have room for the Tomakul Scrapsmith. I have 11 artifacts currently, but it's still not gonna fit to the deck. I'm gonna cut the Intervention, and well, that's the easy cut. What are the I guess that the pike goes. Yeah, that's 7 ways to enhance the creature. I'd prefer the wings over the pike now. And how about the Gix's Caress? That will be useful for accelerating into the Juggernaut. And this is definitely no more than 16 lands deck. I don't think it's gonna be a 15 lander though. I don't think. I have only one of these cantrips. Peter Union. Mutt. Okay, so sacrifice. How many card? How many of these cards can actually trigger, not trigger, but enable this ability here? That's actually not so many in the end. How many creatures? I have 14. I suppose I can cut a creature here. But yeah, this is not enough to make the Blast Runner that interesting. And once I cut the Blast Runner, that is... Okay, what happened? That is... Oh, there's also, by the way, the Evolving Wilds, which will be in the deck. But still, I think because I do have to make these cuts, I'm happy enough to cut the Blast Runner and now the Bitter Reunion. And then I think it's one more cut and that's it. 13 creatures. I don't feel comfortable cutting any more creatures maybe, but let's see. I have 7 2-mana creatures, 4 3-mana creatures, a couple of these Juggernauts. Well, the thing is that I do like the supply drops and the Whirling Strike in this deck too. They're actually quite nice with the Forge Chanters. I suppose I could cut one of the Forge Chanters. That is 12 non-creatures currently. If I cut one of them, that's still 12, of course. I have just about enough ways to sacrifice. Even if you sacrifice just once to make this into a 3-2, that's fine. And I might have ways to give this more than one counter as well. The actual amount of removal here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the Mightstone, that's 6. Okay, that's a decent amount of removal. So the Gix's Caress, I suppose I could cut. But I like that I have now 3 cards that make me a Power Stone token at 3 mana, giving me potential for turn 4 Juggernaut. And I have 2 of these, so it should happen every now and then. Yeah, I guess one of the Forge Chanters can be cut. I have still 2 of them, and this is still 6 2-drops. And, well, I guess that's it. That's it for this deck now. Well, at least for the main deck. Of course, I will have some kind of sideboard options. I'm not exactly sure what, but I suppose something like a Race to the Ground can be sideboarded. Yeah, well, I will start with this one. And I have more red cards than black. No double casters other than this ability, but it's only at 6 mana. So, yeah, I prefer to have access to red mana ASAP, so my mana lands will be 8-7, favoring mountains. So 7 swamps. Let's use these full arts. Zendikar Rising. Alright, so that's the main deck. Okay, I have 2 castables, so let's keep it, even though the swamp would be quite nice. Well, I got it right away. Okay, that is a nice one. I don't know if I'm gonna immediately kill it. I might actually kill it with a bolt though, but I'm gonna start the hasty attacks right now. Now this can give some nice value for the opponent over the course of the game, but I have now turn 4 Juggernaut coming if I make this guy explode. Especially if there's no other target. Okay, so they can get one point of value, whether it's a just a draw card here if it's a land, or if it's not a land, they can mill it if they don't want to draw it. Okay, so they kept it on the top, but it wasn't a land. They drew it because of the refractor here. So I think the turn 4 Juggernaut. Yeah, I have more removal the bolt here. I don't want them to gain, a lot of value out of that thing. So I'm gonna just try this and hope they don't have a giant growth for it. Now I don't have to worry about it. And I can play the Juggernaut. Yeah, the Cindermore would have been a nice curve out too, but yeah, the Steel Seeker is it can be a bit nasty if they. I mean, the game might still take some time before it ends. I also need to do some attacks with this guy before they get some big blocker. Well, I'm not going to attack with the Feldon right now because, yeah, I could get a card from it, but I will wait for a bit. Now there's something to sack for the Infiltrator. But let's see if they're gonna attack. I think I'll just block with Juggernaut if they attack. Yeah, I will block if they attack. Chaplain, alright. So they get the planes if they want to, or make this into a 2-2. I really hope the bolt would go through here now. They are thinking about the planes. That's the only thing they can get. Is it more valuable than having this 2-2? Okay, they want to have a 2-2. Alright, they do that, which is fine, I think. Oh, more things for the Juggernaut. Oh, sorry, the Infiltrator. So, let's see. I'm gonna play the Infiltrator. Yes, that's actually... That's what's going to happen. Do I want to show it to them though? I can just bolt this guy. Or do I need to use the mana from... Yeah, I guess I'll do... Yeah, okay, fine. So let's do this. Let them have the information. But they don't have to know about the Evolving Wilds yet. But I can play this with the Power Stone. And then I can make red mana from this thing. I guess I might as well make black mana if I really draw something, something that's black. That I want to cast instead, because I still can play the bolt here. And then I can deal with the elite here and attack with both. Until the end of my next turn. Okay, that's fine. I think they might just block the Juggernaut with the Honor Guard, which still makes them, take a lot of damage because it has Trample and it keeps coming back and all that. I really like a Juggernaut. And if they block the Feldon with either of those things, that's good for me as well. That is 7 damage and they can only attack back for 5. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't block with the Infiltrator, but let's make it grow at least right away. Swamp. So they actually chose to take the Juggernaut here. Now if I can play the Cindermob before they play any Boulder Branch Golems, that would be very nice. Well, they can't cast it at least as a 7-drop now, even if they have a land drop, so at least they're not gonna gain 6 life. That's always something that you have to keep in mind when you play against green decks and you have some kind of a race situation, that they might just at 7 mana gain 6 life from a simple common, which is a, well, simple maybe, but very good card. Okay, so they are probably not in a good spot to race, but it depends of course what's their play this turn. They might have a... Okay, that's gonna give the Honor Guard a counter because it is a soldier, but I can keep attacking with the Juggernaut. Oh, they actually... Well, that's just... They can't attack with that. I mean, I have the Gixan Infiltrator and they don't have good blocks on it. I mean, if they trade with the Cavalry, Yeah, that's very good for me. So this Anagard has to block the infiltrator, right? There's nothing else to do. At some point I can just attack the Feldon into blockers because I still get one card out of this, as long as it takes some damage. So if I feel like I need some other plays, but the next turn I can play just these two. So even if I draw land, it doesn't matter. Yeah, no reason to show them anything. Let's just attack with the two guys here. The Airlift Chaplain cannot actually participate in any block. That makes it that amazing. So I'm a bit surprised they chose to not attack with it, because it's not like they're gonna block. Maybe they would have blocked Feldon, but I don't know. Maybe they... Well, I don't know. Whatever. This is very good for me, of course. They lost the flyer, so now I can just play these two guys here. I have a mutt in my deck, so I shouldn't play the swamp. And then next turn I have the Juggernaut coming if they can't find a way to exile it somehow. Okay, that has been sentenced. I can still draw ways to sack it for some kind of value. And this is actually... Now that was 3 of their mana. Are they gonna just take the 5 and then, you know, they will have to block one of these? Because otherwise they're taking 9 and that's... Well, they might still have a 2-drop. I think the Chaplain has to still block the Thopter at some point. Unless they have a reach guy that has more than 2 toughness, but... Ooh, supply drop, for which I don't have mana. But it's still gonna be like this now. The good thing about the Syndemore getting, you know, sentenced to prison is that now it's gonna stay on the battlefield. If they have any way to gain life, they won't be gaining any life. Okay, so now they are pretty dead because they can't gain life. And even if they have a Wrath effect, and I'm not sure if there is one, I can unearth this thing. Plus I have even a supply drop. If they have like a multiple... Well, if they have like a blocker on the Feldon and they deal with the Thopter somehow, I can still make the Feldon into a 4-4 here. Okay, so they actually have this. I don't know why they played it right now, but it doesn't really matter. With the Whirling Strike draw, of course, I win the game because they have a mana for a Giant Growth and that's it. I should have played the land now because I can't cast both of my spells, but I mean... Well, yeah, if they do have a Giant Growth, my Whirling Strike won't win. So... That was a mistake. Anyway. Yeah, that was actually relevant. So if they do have a Giant Growth there, this becomes a 4-5. And me giving these 2 extra power would have still trampled the missing point of damage. I autopiloted because earlier I said I have a mutt in my deck, I shouldn't play the swamp. But of course now, because I had a castable spell, I should have done that. Right, how do I sideboard? So they are green, white. I didn't see a lot of artifacts for the Steel Seeker actually. Huh. Well, there is the Combat Treasure as well. I don't know if I care about any particular kind of a sideboard card in this matchup. I think my deck is pretty okay as it is. Gix's Caress. Is that too slow? Well, I can get maybe something like a Cavalry or... See, they are green-white, they could have combat tricks. I can take a peek on their hand. And it's still good in accelerating the Juggernaut and the Mightstone, Weakstone. Also for activating and playing these supply drops. The Power Stones are actually quite decent. Also sacrifice fodder for Genius and the Fracture. So yeah, I'm gonna play the Caress. And there are not enough artifacts for me to play the race to the ground. Now they had one one prison effect or lockdown aura, but the faithful handoff is. I mean, I still have ways to sacrifice my creatures, so I don't think it's really the faithful handoff that great. If I saw like 3 of them, yeah, then I would do it. Go sideboard it in, but I saw only one. Yeah, well, this is 3 castable spells, and the opponent mulligans 2. And if I get any land, I can also cast a supply drop. And it's not like I'm going to use the Power Stone Fracture anytime soon. Of course, if I just keep drawing black cards without the swamp, this can be a little bit awkward, but I have much more red cards in the deck anyway. They kept 6. Okay, well, there is a black card I really want to cast ASAP, but let's see. I don't know why they main face that guy. It has flash, and I don't play blue. Okay, well, that seems a little awkward for them, but they did mulligan to 6, so they had to keep this kind of a hand. But now I might just... I guess if I don't draw my swamp anytime soon, they will. And now they did find the 3rd land also, which is the forest. So this is now, I think, could be an actual game here now. I have a lot of non-creatures to, you know, trigger these prowesses. Okay, well, that is... I mean, I could use the obliterating bolt, but I'd rather use the supply drop here. It's a little bit awkward if they don't block at all. Then I'm kind of miss damage here, and I don't... Okay, fine, I'm actually going to do this. Because the supply drop will be good anyway. I also kind of don't want to sack it before I get the swamp to grow this thing, so even if I have on the battlefield. But I guess I would have to sack it anyway, just to dig into the swamp if I, you know, draw like another mountain or a black card. Okay, they get nothing. None of these is returnable. Wow, I keep drawing the mountains. Well, that's fine. I know I have the mutt in my deck, but I also have now, you know, this 4 mana sack and draw. So I'm gonna actually do this, because I might want to use this on the next turn, and then I might draw, you know, exactly a swamp. So if I didn't play this mountain, I wouldn't have 6 lands on the next turn, in that scenario. If I draw a mutt, I don't know if I even want to. I guess I would have to discard something like the Gix and Infiltrator if I draw a mutt. Yeah. Alright, well, that means that I'm gonna just play the Genius this turn. I'm trading with this guy. And I'm not going to use the Power Stone Fracture until I have this. Maybe I should play the Infiltrator just in case I want to actually... Oh yeah, I can actually play the Infiltrator and then sack the supply drop just for a card. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to attack for 2 here. They might not block, but I'm still liking this race here, so this is all fine. Yeah, this is actually because I have the 6 mana. Like I said, if I draw a swamp, I needed to play the mountain there. Now I'm going to draw it right away to make this into a 3-2. Now I still have something to discard for the mutt, although I might have the razor, you know, the one card in my deck that actually cares about having 2 black mana. The rare 2-drop that can't block. The activated ability is Swamp +4. That has been sentenced, but you know, I have the Fracture here, so that's something I can still benefit from. I can also sack it for this. I get other creatures get +1/+0 menace and haste when I sack either an artifact or a creature to this thing. Okay, there's the Syndemore. There's no reason not to attack here. I'm not gonna use any prowess trigger here, but I'm gonna attack with this thing. Put some stops here to kind of I guess they would need to use my tricks anyway, so I don't care about the paratrooper that much, but yep. I can play this, and now I can leave the swamp to my hand, just in case I draw the mod. And now again, if they have some life gain effects, the Syndemore says that it won't happen. And I have the Fracture. If they have one big blocker, I can just kill it. This has one target, does it? Yes. Do I have any golems here? Nope. So, am I going to sack the... There's no way for me to get rid of the prison sentence, yeah. Might as well sack the infiltrator. I have a lethal attack. I think I do, because this gives them menace, because I can of course do, you know... Yeah, of course. This is... No, it's actually not... No, but they have to jump block. They have to jump block. If they don't jump block, they will lose, so I might as well not activate my genius. There's no point. Because I don't get the win if they block the... Because this is gonna be 3 and 5 menace. And then, yeah, that's 8 total, so yeah, there's no point sacrificing my Power Stone for this. They are forced to block now any of my guys. And it's all they can do is block 2 damage, it doesn't matter which. This one tramples 2 over. Yeah. Okay, so they chose to die. This is 8 damage. This is now 10. Okay, well that was... well, the precursor golem would have been actually quite nasty. I have a lot of removal in the deck though. Single target removal that works on that thing. And I didn't use the Fracture or anything else. I did use the Bolt earlier in the game. But yeah, this is of course one of the cards that can stabilize the game for them. Okay, so with the second land I would keep, because the mat would help me get the third, but with only 1. Yeah, this could be a nice curve out. I would have even the Bolt if I had a mountain here. Well, if I had a mountain I would have not one of these. Anyway, let's mulligan this, no point keeping it. Alright, well this is interesting. I kinda like all of these. The Syndemore is very nice with the tricks. Well, I'm gonna have to... I think actually, if I get my third land, I can cast a supply drop, and it's more useful than the Whirling Strike. So I want to play the 2-drop creature for sure. It's kind of a counterintuitive to lose my second 2-mana spell, which is castable. But in order to win this game, I need to draw the third land no matter what. So I'm gonna gamble a bit. This is better because this will be left on the battlefield as sacrifice fodder. I'm gonna not play the Forge Chanter now. I'm just gonna get my swamp to make sure I can curve out with those Syndemores. I'm just happy to draw the land. Okay, they have a very good start too. Well, actually, you know, it's quite valuable to make them get rid of this Power Stone, so I'm gonna do this. I don't want them to play anything like a Scrapwork cohort on turn 3 because of the Power Stone. Well, we are playing similar kind of cards. Alright, so the next land allows me to play the Juggernaut, and with the supply drop it's actually not easy to block. If they are going to attack now, I think I'll just block, take away their trick, or they might just, you know, be fine with the trade here. Because I'm not currently winning the race here. I'm just playing the second Syndemore on the next turn unless I draw a land, in which case the Juggernaut will be played instead. Okay, so I'm gonna take some trample damage here, but what can you do? I'm not gonna win a race against the bad guy. The opponent's start was, by the way, look at this, amazing uncommon, amazing uncommon, amazing uncommon. That's That's a great 2-3-4 there. This will be a 4-6 when I play this and have the supply drop up. So next turn I can, play the Forge Chanter. This might attack as a 4 power first striker, and then I can still kill it with the 4-6. And the first strike here is huge. And what does their deck have? Disenchant, Reforged. They chose to take a land here. More creatures, I suppose. Okay, yep. They don't know what to name for this thing. I hope they don't. Well, I guess even if they mentioned. No, they actually, yeah, Unearth is an activated ability, so yeah, they're gonna say the Juggernaut. But because of the first strike, I can't block. Well, I guess I'm happy they had the double creature on this turn, so maybe now I will be able to. Okay, the Chapline will be getting the boosts though, so with the land I think I have to do this instead. I don't like my chances. I think I would like if I didn't have the mulligan, and if I had this. Well, it's no longer in the. I shuffled my deck, but I had the +2/+0 first strike, trample, whirling strike. With that, I think I would maybe be able to erase the opponent, but now it's very hard. If they keep having creatures, the Vanguard is gonna deal so much more damage. It has already done 6 extra damage. I guess for a 4 mana 2/3 it has to do something, but 3 triggers have resolved in this game. Okay, so they have a prison sentence as well. Do they have a creature? Because they don't actually have that great attacks if there's no creature, but of course they can have a creature. No. Well, they can attack for 1. Ah, they have a trick. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, it's gonna be a whirling strike, right? Sure. But I can't. Yep. So now I'm in a bad shape unless I draw some specific things. That's actually not even a card I want to draw there. I mean, I guess I'll play it, but I'm not going to. I just don't think the supply drop is something I should lose it. It might be one of my only ways to deal the remaining damage, because it's possible I draw an Excavation Explosion, and then maybe I can deal 5+2+3 from the explosion. That would be exacties. No life gain allowed because of the Syndemore. So if I can deal the 10, is that lethal? Hasty 2 power attack, that's 5 in the air. Yep, it's lethal. If they attack with everything. Well, I didn't really expect them to actually have a Swift Gear Drake. I guess they could have been any hasty guy. That is exactly 7 that I can't prevent from happening. Well, don't know. This curve out was just insane. Even though I was able to kill the Stoneseeker, they were able to Syndemore into the Vanguard. Syndemore was attacking for 6 damage on turn 4, trample damage. Even if I blocked it, I took 3 extra there. That was an amazing curve out. Nothing much I can do there, especially when I even had the mulligan here. I don't think anything here is that bad. I want to get rid of the whirling strikes with the Gixis Caress, so, and it's also the Power Stone is useful. So I'll just I don't think I'm gonna sideboard anything. There's the Race to the Ground, but they had a lot of non-artifact threats. Let's hope I don't have the mulligan here and I can still curve out. My deck is actually 2 drops and 3 drops, so curving out shouldn't be a big problem here. Okay, now I have a good game here, but of course this is only game 2 out of 3 and I lost the first one, so I also need to win the next one, but one game at a time. But I will be scared about being on the draw against them. Stone Seeker, well, I mean, I can do the same thing, and now I have the Juggernaut for turn 4, so I have a strong start here, and I have the Juggernaut backed up by the supply drops. Any plays? Nope. But they have a Mishra there. Sure. Now if they try something with the Whirling Strike to block the Juggernaut, I can punish with the supply drop. But now they have a white. Oh, they have a prison sentence. I could have chosen to leave this to block, but I wasn't really. I mean, even if they have the sentence, they can attack for 2. Okay, they have a disenchant. That still allows me to attack with it at some point. They're gonna rummage, they're gonna discard a mountain. Okay, go for the throat will be useful, but don't need it right now. I'll just, try to be as aggressive as I can here. I could leave this to block with, but they might even use the ability instead. Are they gonna sentence that guy? Now if they have the Fallagy, the 2-color uncommon, at least I have a kill spell on it, so I don't have to lose to that one card. Right, so I guess they dealt with my stuff and attack for a bit. I'm not gonna go for the throat that guy. Alright, I'm going to draw cards, but I want to trigger the prowess, so let's trigger that. I'm almost tempted to use the supply drop for +3 damage, but I believe it's better to save it because they are at 14. +3 damage doesn't do much here. Now unless they have the Revoker here, I can actually just use the Juggernaut now. I have a total of 3. I have 8 now, but I want to have also the supply drop up. So I want to have to go for the throat up and also the supply drop. So I'm gonna play this even if I draw my Mutt. Plus this way I can also post-combat Syndemore. Although maybe I shouldn't attack with the Forge Chanter because I still want to Syndemore. Yeah, then I can at least threaten a block on the Mishra. 5 damage there, and then I'll just play this guy. Yeah, they can surveil for 1, but I have a much better board and my hand is pretty good. Well, I don't necessarily have a much better board. They weren't interested, by the way, in a 1-mana 2-1. They want to draw something better. Did they need the land there? 7th land for something? Okay, that is a good one, but okay, that's no longer going to do much. The Unearthed went already away. So yeah, they can exile one of my things with the in the trenches, but yeah, they can use that on the transmogrant. Oh, they are actually choosing to although of course the Vigilance guy is going to attack. Now, well, I'm gonna save my guys with the supply drop, right? So I'm not going to trade here. I will take 7 here though, that is nasty. Do I have a certain victory here? I think I might, because I can go for the throat, the Vanguard, and then deal a lot of damage. Yeah, actually this is gonna be a victory. Yep, because of all these prowess triggers and all that. Although it's not if they block the Forge Chanter, but why would they block the Forge Chanter? Then they actually won't lose. Because I can only deal 8 with the Cinder and the Forge Chanter doesn't trample. Is this enough already? 4 plus, nope, let's do more. Sadly, they now know to expect this thing, but oh well. I mean, my supply drops. I don't think I'm gonna sideboard them out. Now that they saw 2 of them, they certainly will be playing around them. If they can, that is. I don't have any way to deal with the Anthem effect unless I draw my discard before they get to play it. Is the Feldon maybe not that great in this matchup? Actually, it might be something I want to cut. I have to be a little bit defensive here. So I will have like a maybe just a Forge Chanter here. I kind of maybe want to play one of these interventions. It's also an interesting idea, but what is the next cut here? Do I care about the wings? This is the kind of matchup where probably flying over isn't really what I need here. So I'm gonna actually cut the wings and play the intervention instead, which is a little bit funny, perhaps. Race to the ground still. No, there's nothing I care about there. 8 instant and sorceries makes the pike like an okay card, but because the first strike alone is quite valuable, but you want to have some power boost for your creature as well. But I think I prefer the trick here still. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. It's a tough matchup if they keep, curving out like they did in the first game. In the second game, they had also the Stone Seeker, but I again had the removal for it. But now being on the draw against a very good white-red deck is gonna always be painful. I'm actually gonna keep this because I do have the turn for Juggernaut. I don't like keeping a 5-lander, but I have the explosion to deal with some of the early drops. Okay, second. Sixth land was very bad. Do they have multiple Stone Seekers or do they always draw the one? Could be, of course, anything else than that. 2. They could be thinking that I might have a Disfigure here. Maybe they don't want to play the Stone Seeker here. Okay. Well, they're gonna say the Juggernaut on that, but I suppose I can kill this. Oh, come on. Keep a 5-lander, draw 2 lands back to back as the first 2 draws. Yep, this is not bad. No, let's make it 3. Let's make it 3 lands back to back. That's just lost game. I mean, I need to draw like 5 spells now, and they must not have the uncommon, the white-red uncommon. Okay, they did not. Do they have a Vanguard? And yeah, that's gonna be a problem at some point. Oh wow. This is... now if they have a Prison Sentence on here. Bolt. Well, at least the Revoker doesn't do much now. But once they have 7 mana, I lose. Wow, supply drop. This game was, of course... I mean, I kept the risky hand, but I believe it was worth a keep. I just hid my deck. I know I could have gotten a counter for the Gixan Infiltrator if I drew it, but I wanted to thin my deck. Yeah, that's this is a pretty much of a non-game. Once they draw a 7th land, I just lose. I can try something here, but because if they just can equip one of these, I can only jump block it. It will be +7/+7. Well, they either drew a spell or a land. Oh, they can also do that. When this creature dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, return it to the owner's hand. So actually I could, you know, that's nice interaction there. I could actually make this go to my hand. Problem is I lose to this damage now. But yeah, this is activated only once, so I could have actually responded with the intervention, and I could have still cast it next turn, but sadly I lost because I drew no creatures. It was bad enough matchup. I mean, not matchup wasn't bad, but it was a hard enough opponent without me drawing 3 lands after keeping a 5-lander. So that was really a non-game. And I'm also playing 16 lands with a good mana curve, so I should be pretty have a pretty reliable mana. But as you can see, it's still pretty tough, even though I have one evolving bites to further fix my mana. I don't think I can keep this. I need the red to do anything here. Okay, I can keep this, but because of the Mightstone and Weakstone, I'm not going to lose the land here, I don't think. I'm gonna get rid of the 2-drop. And of course I'm on the draw against against the 1-drop. Very aggressive 1-drop even. So this could be, yeah. That's gonna be, I guess I'm gonna just go for the throat that guy before I take, you know, any more damage from it. It will have menace. Yeah, I mean this is a problem. I have to not play this guy now. Don't have a Cliff Stomper there. I guess I can take 1 damage and see what's the third 3-drop. Well, I'm not gonna kill that. Alright. I can block the infantry with the Thopter, I believe. Or maybe not, and exile it with the bolt. No, I'm happy they actually, there's a reason they did that pre-combat ticket to have a hasty attacker. Well, I'm gonna have to kill the Cliff Stomper, so this takes that. But yeah, this is also very good, based on what I have seen. Very good stuff. But they have 3 cards left. I will be able to draw 2 unless I really need to kill a card, but I will be able to draw 2 most likely. Yeah, I can take 1. Oh, there, it's not a mono-red deck. Well, the multiple. Hey, when can I actually get the kind of deck? You know, I really. Well, I can kill this with the Powerstone Fracture, so next turn I can unearth this and use this. Because I think I need the cards. If I don't draw the cards, I'm not gonna beat this board. Anyway, they have 2 cards still there. I'm gonna take damage a lot, but whatever. Wow. So unearthing is not a good idea now, because then I couldn't use the Fracture. But yeah, when can I get the deck with, you know, multiple Cliff Stompers and red being open enough to actually make them work? Are they thinking about dealing additional damage by some kind of a pump effect? Maybe if they don't have any further creatures in their hand. Okay, wow. Jeez. This is insane. So I'm gonna attack with just the Thopter here and try to block the token, which I know now is gonna get pumped by a Whirling Strike or something. Could also be a Loran's Escape here. But I mean, I drew all these lands here. That's I mean, imagine if these were spells, because I have now drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. And 7 spells. Combined to the versus to the opponent has drawn a lot more spells than lands, so yep, doesn't matter what they play at this point. This is also otherwise fine, but it only trades with the Rock Hunter. I don't think I have. I mean, what is the kind of setup where I don't lose? That's gonna be exactly 5 there, so yep. I mean, what can I do if I just draw too many lands? I think I can do the same as with the previous opponent. I will cut the Feldon here and play another Forge Chanter, and maybe the Wings isn't as important as something like a Intervention maybe. Just a cheap trick. It's not great against the Whirling Strike actually, but it can still be useful when creatures trade. Okay, well, this is a good hand. I don't have a 2-drop creature, but I can go for the throat something if I want to. But I will save my go for the throats for the Cliff Stompers most likely. Well, I'm gonna just trade these. I will still trample over 3 damage. I can play another Cinder and then, of course, I will play the Juggernaut on the next turn, so this is all fine. They took 3, but they got a 1/1 token out of the trade. I wasn't gonna use the go for the throat on it. Well, that's a bunch of decent cards, and they can still trade with the Xindemo, but they're still taking trample damage here. Oh, they actually chose not to, so they have plans. They can of course play a thing and have a haste it up, and I take a lot of damage, but I have also 9 damage in here. Sadly, only 1 swamp with these things, so okay. That's a good one. I can't. So if I kill this, I don't have the 6th mana, so I guess I'll take 6 here now. They will gain 2 life here also if this gets. Okay, that's actually good. Although if they block the Juggernaut, then I won't be able to recast it. And sadly, I have only. Look at this. I have all these black spells, and I can only cast one spell a turn. Now, if I knew they're gonna block the Cinder with the Rock Hunter, I'd be very happy. Well, I guess I'm gonna allow them to maybe block exactly that, but yes, I kinda, because there is the Unearth for the Juggernaut, but no, they still. Okay, good, because now I can do this. I can also recast the Cinder, so that I will have a lot of trample damage, and I can recast it, and now they are. But now this is 9 power of trample damage. They have a toughness here. I can kill a non-artifact with the go for the throat. Now it's. So is that enough toughness if they put everything in this build? They will gain 2 life from this trigger, but only after damage has been dealt. Okay, so it's a simple math question. Okay, with the power stone fracture, it's still not going to... Yeah, I don't have anything to sack, but at least I can play the infiltrator. So I kill the cliff stomper. I don't even have to kill it actually. I can kill it mid-combat. Yeah, they have seven toughness, not counting the cliff stomper. So if they block with everything, they will only go to 2. Sorry, to 1. But they might not block with everything now that they have the cliff stomper. And of course I can kill it mid-combat so that the trample will go through it. That's actually lethal. I mean, this is trampling 4 and I don't have to show them anything. They made a mistake. This tramples for 4 and this trigger won't have time to resolve. Plus, I mean, even if it had like lifelink, they would still be, not gaining life because of the Cinder-Maw. Yeah, maybe they thought that they are gonna have a window to gain the 2 life, but of course, once lethal damage has been dealt, no trigger will resolve at that point anymore. So they also have the Mistress research desk. Their deck is pretty good. But I had a good draw now. I have a lot of these tramplers. Double Cinder-Maw, double Juggernaut, plus all these pump effects too. And this did some work. Okay, let's hope to win the final game of the event. Otherwise it will be only a 1-2 result, but of course those results happen and it's not like the opponents are having a bad deck, so it's against good decks it will be always difficult. Now this is a good hand. I have my swamp here. I can have a 2-3 turn 4 plays here. I'm very happy about this. Hopefully they don't have a too fast start. I could wait until the kicks and infiltrator, but I'd rather use this now. I also want to actually thin the deck a bit, because I don't want to draw any more lands here. So please let's not have another game 3 where I draw all the lands, and that seems to be that it's not happening like that. And they also missed their 2-drop, so I'm not under pressure yet. That is... I'm actually willing to trade with this thing. They can have their 1/1 token. Okay, they didn't care about it. So I'm gonna play now the Junkyard Genius, and then I can have the Juggernaut still on the next turn. I don't really plan on killing these with the explosion. Okay, that's 2 of their mana on that kind of an effect. They can only play a 2-drop, although they do have the 0-4 of course. Couple of them. No supply drop. Blast Runner. Okay, they are... I don't mind the trade necessarily happening here. On the Genius, I mean. It is a really good card, but... Although, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here now. I'm attacking with both. I have a supply drop of my own. If they don't block, I blame a Juggernaut. That is fine. I'm trying to raise them. Because they can of course not play a creature and haste it up. This will be a 3. I can take a lot of damage this turn, but I can also deal a lot of damage myself. I hope I'm not dead in 2 attacks. Oh, they have no land, so they can't even consider hasting up. Alright, no blocks there. Now I think I'm in a pretty darn good shape. I will play the land because I might wanna use the Genius in mid-combat as well as the supply drop, so I need 6 mana for that. Any reason to... No, I can play the Mutt and haste it up, but no, this is gonna be just attack with everything and see what they do. They can't keep taking the damage here. So I'm gonna do this. To save the Genius. And I'm gonna Mutt here. discard the mountain. I will save this prowess trigger for the next turn. Hopefully I'm not gonna be lacking exactly 1 mana for something, but I think it's worth it. Now if they don't have a kill on the genius, all other creatures I have will have menace. And additional power too. So they were stuck now at 3, and they are not really in a position to attack with anyone. They have to know it. Alright, so this can get also haste. I think I don't even have to think about anything because I can finish, as long as I get them to go down to 3 or less, I can finish them off with the explosion. So I'm gonna do this. And I can do this for the prowess triggers. And then I can sacrifice oh yeah, the chromatic star. Yeah, it will also draw me a card. Should have done that maybe before attacks. Oh, what the I forgot to give the haste. I was too cute. I just clicked through all these while talking. Sorry. I was gonna give haste to those guys. I mean this guy. I don't think it actually changes anything, but now I think I had lethal, but now I probably don't have lethal, but whatever. I mean, it's what it is. I made a mistake. I was speaking and I forgot that haste is before I declare attackers. So I mean, I'm just missing out on 3 power of menace damage, but I mean, this is a lot of damage. They can put something on the genius, and then they have only. They can. I mean, this was a victory if I think they can survive this turn now that I don't have the Forge Center up anymore. Yeah, they can sack this to make this into a 3/2. But it's still gonna be, because the rest of the 3 guys can only block 1. So are they gonna still die here? They're taking 9 here. Yeah, they are still gonna die. I would have just been able to... yeah, they have to do that. So my genius will survive. So that's the only way they don't die. But of course I would have... Yep. I mean, it's probably not gonna matter because they are dead to the explosion and they are dead to my board too, and I'm not dead to their attacks. They can't have that aggressive attacks, but it was a foolish mistake. I even played this pre-combat just to be able to haste it up, but yep, the Cliff Stompers are not so good defensively, and I just finished them off with this. Of course I had lethal attack because these will have both menace, so... And I had the Juggernaut. I had multiple lethals there, but a little of a downer at that time. But well, you know, even though I have done these videos for more than 2 years now, it's clearly, I mean, different than just playing by yourself. Talking pretty much all the time it's easy to, you know, just click through the faces while you're explaining something. I'm pretty sure I would have, by myself, I would have actually given this guy haste. But it didn't matter in here, so at least that's good. So I got my second win, which is nice, and yeah, deck was really good, and I think the supply drops are pretty decent here because, well, I don't have that many. I didn't have like strong bulls or anything, but I also liked them with the prowess guys. It's +3/+3, and then something that you can benefit from later on. But I guess the good stuff in the deck were the tramplers. But yeah, the supply drops are definitely better when you have this, you know, these tramplers too. Very nice combination. Just pushing a lot of damage through. Yep, pretty normal-ish black-red deck. Not a great amount of sacrifice synergies, but it had still a decent game plan. Well, mostly involving curving out, removing stuff, and having these big tramplers to keep pushing more damage. So yep, nothing special about it really, but But yeah, I think two match wins was kind of deserved. It is also my normal. Of course, 2 match wins out of 3 is more than 50%. But my overall long-term best of 3 draft win rate is actually roughly 66%. When I look, for example, the 17lands.com data, so 2-1 for me is the kind of sort of an expected result. So I'm happy always. So I always want to reach the 3 wins, and that's why 1-2 is quite a disappointment. But of course you are going to have those results always. But also price wise, paying 500 gems for the drafted cards and 3 packs is acceptable. It's only when you get less than 2 wins when it's kind of a sort of a waste of gems. But you have to take some risks if you want to win stuff on Arena. Anyway, I will see you in the next draft video. Thank you for watching and bye bye.